Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? It is currently 5:18 p.m. on, just turned 5:19 p.m. just turned to 5:19 p.m. on Thursday, early evening. And besides it having rained all day today, it's really, really nice outside. It is currently, let's see what the temperature is outside. It is currently, pulling the temperature up, 51 degrees outside. It's very nice. I actually have a t-shirt on with this jacket. I was just going to wear a hoodie today. And then I was like, no, I want to be comfortable. So I put a t-shirt on, and I really didn't even need the jacket, but I've been wearing the jacket all day. Okay, there was a special weather statement. Let's see what it is. Areas of dense fog through tonight, while incoming rainfall is expected to improve visibility slightly. Areas of dense fog with visibilities of 1/4 mile or less at times will remain throughout tonight, and visibilities may decrease again when rain ends late tonight. Visibilities may fluctuate. Okay, so fog is what we're getting right now. What did somebody say to me? Let me just tell you about today. Let's talk about today. Should we talk about today? Today, pull you in a little bit closer. Too close for comfort. Today has been a different kind of day. Today has been an absolutely amazing day. I woke up this morning. I was very tired when I woke up this morning. I had to get up about an hour and a half before Caroline came here to get me. Today was Cousin Fun Day because I wanted to take a shower, get Boo Radley ready, take him outside, all that kind of stuff. I wanted to have a cup of coffee before Caroline came to get me and everything. And so I got up about an hour and a half early. I think I actually snoozed the alarm once or twice, and yeah, maybe it was closer to a little bit around an hour before she came. She came at 1. I think it was a little bit right after 12. So I set my alarm for an hour and a half, and I ended up snoozing it for a half an hour. But anyway, I got up and took Boo Radley out, did my prayers, meditations, and all that kind of stuff, and made a cup of coffee. And I don't know what it was. It was just like, I was just sitting out here because it was so nice, and all of a sudden it just came over me, and I just was like, oh my God, I feel so at peace today. I woke up, and I was, like I said, I was tired when I woke up, but through the next 10 or 15 minutes, I don't know, it was like I just stepped into this total feeling of gratitude and peace and serenity and calm today, and I'm so grateful for it. And today has just been such an amazing day. And actually, I wasn't planning on filming any videos at all today because I thought, I always think to myself, when I'm not feeling great. Well, actually, physically I feel a lot better. Yesterday I said I thought I was getting sick. Today I feel physically 100%. So, a little tired because I didn't get too much sleep last night. I have 69 episodes of Vanderpump Rules to watch before Tuesday night when it comes on. So, I gotta binge watch some of these shows. But anyway, enjoying it, loving every minute of it. And so, I've been thinking to myself, if I'm going to take a day off, I should take a day when I'm struggling or when I'm not feeling great. But the reality is, filming videos kind of gets me out of that, like I said the other day, right? And so I woke up today when I was sitting out here, I just was I feel so great today. I was like, maybe I should take today off. I feel so good, and, just enjoy the day and whatever. I said this the other day, when I was talking about taking days off from filming. Whenever I take a day off, it's usually because we're going to a birthday party, or it's Cousin Fun Day, or I'm spending the day going to brunch with Alex and stuff. It's never just a day where I'm just here by myself, take a nap, listen to an audiobook, watch a few TV shows, read a book, things like that, read a graphic novel, whatever. It's always I take a day off because I'm doing something instead of just taking a day off to just, relax. And so I was kind of well, if I'm going to take a day off, I don't, listen, I could take 4 days off in a row if I want to, right? But anyway, so when I took a shower, got dressed, got ready and stuff this morning, and or this afternoon, and then Caroline came and got me, I literally had no plans to make videos whatsoever today. And I didn't make that many. This is only my second video, so let's not get too excited, Peter. But I had no plans whatsoever to film any videos today. And in fact, Caroline was she picked me up at 1, And she said she had to leave here at 5:15 because she had an appointment that was like 45 minutes away, and then she was having dinner with a girlfriend afterwards. And so I think they're going to Cheesecake Factory because I mentioned the nachos, and her friend really likes nachos. And so they were going to do it like a week or two ago, and then they ended up not doing it, and so they're doing that tonight. But anyway, so she had to leave here at like right at 5:15. And we didn't really have a lot to do today, you know? And so, she was like, what do you want to do first? And I was like, I want to get some coffee. And so we went and got coffee. And then I got like a really strong iced coffee today. It was nice. Then we went to the P.O. box and picked up some things. Then we went to Costco and walked around for a little while. And then we went to Trader Joe's. And then we went and ate brunch. I actually got something different. I'll tell you about that in just a second. And then she was like, well, I need to go to Target because she wanted to like get a present for her friend's daughter that's like 6. And so she was like, I need to go look. She's like, are there toys at Costco? I was like, yeah. She's like, but there's only like one aisle of it. And I go, okay. And so she was like, well, I want to go to Target. And so we went to Target and we walked around for a long time. We looked at all kinds of stuff. It was really fun. I got a bunch of skincare to try out, like Harry's, that razor brand. I love that. And I just did not feel rushed at all because I had no intention of filming any videos when I got home. So I get home and like, so Caroline, she always helps me bring everything up to the front porch, and we put it like on this table where you guys are like sitting right now, and then like on this chair, and then after, well, usually I bring Boo Radley out, and then she says hi to Boo Radley, and he runs around the yard while she's like, you know, gets to see him and stuff like that. She's like, he gets to see his Aunt Caroline. I call her cousin Caroline, but Boo Radley calls her Aunt Caroline. That's what she prefers. And so, so anyway, but she had to leave like right away. So she left, and then I took Boo Radley out, and then I brought all this stuff inside, and all this stuff was sitting in the kitchen, and I was like, okay, I usually do a haul, right? And I was like, well, I'll just bring this stuff back out tomorrow. I won't try the skincare. I'll just leave it in a bag in the kitchen, and I'll do this tomorrow, because I was like intent that I wasn't going to film, you know? I was like, it's literally going to take you 10 minutes to film a video. And Alex had just texted me that he was on his way home because he got off early tonight. And so I was like, just film. I was in a great mood. I was like, just film the Peter Does Stuff video, you know? So I sat down and I filmed the Peter Does Stuff video. And, or not sit down, I stood in the kitchen and showed everything that I got, the haul. And then Alex came home right after I got done with that, and I was putting stuff away, putting stuff in the fridge, putting stuff in the pantry, cleaning up the kitchen, getting everything put away. And Alex came home, and we talked for a little bit, and then I was like, he goes, okay, good night. I go, are you really going to bed for the night? And he was like, no, I'm joking. And I was like, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to lay in bed and just look at TikToks for a while. He's like, I'm exhausted. He's really tired. And usually, he works from home on Fridays, or he has like a very short day, or he doesn't work at all on Fridays. And tomorrow, he has like a long meeting all day. And so, he has to get up very, very early tomorrow morning, and he's going to be gone most of the day. And then middle of the afternoon. It's like from early in the morning. It's like from like, I think he has to leave here at like 7, and then the meeting's supposed to be over at like 2 or something like that. And I have a doctor's appointment at 3, which I'd already planned to take, like, because I didn't know what his plans were tomorrow, to take an Uber and stuff. And he was like, well, if I get done in time, I'll come and pick you up and I can take you to the doctor's appointment. He was like, but just don't plan on it because I don't know, this meeting might go over. So he is going to go to bed probably early tonight, which is fine by me because I'm going to watch Vanderpump Rules like nobody's business tonight. So anyway, I was like, so you're just going to go upstairs? He's like, yeah, I'm just going to go upstairs with Boo Radley and just like look at some TikToks and stuff. Because Boo Radley had already eaten dinner. I had his dinner down and stuff. And I was like, okay. So I'm sitting there and I'm like putting up this Peter Does Stuff video. I'm like rendering it. And I'm like, it's nice outside. Alex is laying in bed looking at TikToks. Just go vlog. Like, you know, you want to vlog anyway, you know? And so I was like, I'm gonna vlog. And at first I was just like, I think I'm only gonna vlog for like 10 minutes just to like connect with everybody and whatever. I was like, what else do you have to do? Watch Vanderpump Rules? Just sit and talk for a while. You love it so much, you know? So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to vlog for a while. So here I am. Cheers. How are you guys doing? I'm in such a great mood today. I am in such a great mood. I just feel so peaceful and so calm today. And it's strange because it's been a couple days. It's been maybe a good week since I felt like this, you know? I've had glimpses of it. I've had lots of glimpses of it. you know, filming my drama video and flipping fans and telling funny stories and stuff like that and talking about Moose Gate and whatever, like, all of that, like, helps me get out of my mind. You know, showing coffee cups and an Amazon haul, like, that gets me out of my mind. Sitting here talking about, like, I was talking about relationships and stuff yesterday, like, that is, like, all, like, I just, like, it really helps me. Like, I don't think you guys really realize how much you watching my videos and allowing me to have this channel really helps me, you know, and I just want to say, again, thank you. I appreciate it so much. Like, I just love it, you know. I say in my prayers every night when I do my gratitude list, I always say, you know, to God, like, one of the big things I say is thank you so much for YouTube, you know, and the people that watch my channel, and the people, the kind comments, the compassion that I receive, the fact that people just give me, you know, the privilege of having this life and getting to film videos and, you know, all that kind of stuff and pay my bills with this, and just the kind thoughts that you guys say, you know, hey, and I'm so grateful for it. And so, you know, I think that's part of the reason why it's really hard for me to take a day off. But tomorrow, unless I get up really early, which I can tell you right now is probably not going to happen because my plan is to stay up late tonight and watch Vanderpump Rules, I'm kind of like, okay, you're probably gonna, let me just put this in perspective for you, okay? I know that this is where people that don't watch reality TV, you don't really get it, okay? But I want to be like with everybody else, and I want to watch next Tuesday night Vanderpump Rules, okay? So anyway, I'm like, so, and I was just got off the phone with Tanya. I was like in my head thinking, like, are we going to the meeting next Tuesday night? But Tanya and I just talked about what meeting we're going to next week because her sobriety birthday is next week. And so, so she's going to go to 2 different meetings. And the second meeting that she's going to go to, her sponsor is going to give her coin, but she asked me if I would go with her on her sobriety birthday and give her coin that day, and then her sponsor is going to give her sobriety coin at her different, like, the meeting, this other meeting that she goes to with her sponsor. So anyway, so we're not going to probably go to a meeting next Tuesday night, so I will get to watch Vanderpump Rules with Alex for the first time. You know what's so funny in watching it, I was thinking about this last night, is that I thought when I started watching it, like, a lot would feel familiar to me. That, like, I would watch it and be like, oh, I remember watching this episode with Alex. But I don't really, like, remember anything, like, from watching it straight, and now watching it straight through. Like, I remember, like, Billie Lee is on the season that I'm watching. This is her second season, actually. I'm watching season 7. I'm gonna finish season 7 tonight. And I remember asking, like, Alex, because I knew that, like, I hadn't seen her before on the show, and I was asking her about her when she, like, came on the show. So that must have been last season. And then I can remember, like, some of the stuff that's happening now with, like, Stassi dating Bo, who she later marries. And I'm like, do we like him? Do we not like him? Like, I remember asking that back in the day, but I had no clue who he was. I just knew he was Stassi's new boyfriend. And he's like, yeah, we like him. He's a really cool guy. You know, he's really nice and whatever. But, like, I don't remember anything. I have, like, this vague memory of, like, Bo and Stassi and Jax and Brittany sitting at a picnic table and Jax and Bo kind of getting into it. Like, that's my only memory of anything to do with that, though. So it's funny watching it. You would think that I would remember more because, like, Alex would watch it and it would be on in the background, but I don't. So, but I want to watch the premiere with everybody else. So I have to watch 14 episodes a day between now and Tuesday when it comes out. Well, that's not counting Tuesday. That's between now and Monday if I want to, like, finish it in time. It rounds up to about 14 episodes a day. So we'll see. We'll see what I can do. I averaged it out, and that's about, like, I think it's like 9 or 10 hours a day of Vanderpump Rules. But listen, Linda, I'm committed. I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people, but it is what it is. And then after that, I'm going to watch Real Housewives of New Jersey and catch up on it until it comes out in April, because I've never watched Housewives in New Jersey. I mean, I know all the players. Well, I know most of the players. You know, Melissa and Teresa and stuff like that. But I don't know, like, I've never watched it. I've watched it when I've been at Tanya's house, because she watches it. She just told me the other night it's her favorite season. She's like, it's my favorite franchise of all the Housewives is New Jersey. And then I was going to watch Sister Wives first, but I think I'm going to watch it afterwards. And I'm also going to watch Below Deck at the same time that I'm watching Housewives. But I asked Caroline today, because she loves Sister Wives, and I said, is it like a show, like, if I start from the beginning and I go all the way through, that, like, it's, like, addicting to binge watch? And she was like, I love the early seasons. She's like, I don't really, she doesn't like drama-filled reality shows like I do, and she's like, it's just the later seasons are more drama, and it's just it really is kind of sad and crazy at the end. And she was like, but where we're at now, she's like, but I like the early seasons. She was like, you know, but I go, is it like addicting, like binge-worthy? And she's like, oh, I don't know. But like everybody that I hear talk about it is like, oh my God, you have to watch Sister Wives. It's so good. So let me know in the comment section below if you watched Sister Wives or if you watched it and you didn't think it was any good. So yeah, so last night Alex and I, we watched, oh my God, I just remembered that Traitors is on tonight, and Alex is caught up, so we get to watch Traitors together tonight. I'm so excited. It's the first time Alex and I ever get to watch Traitors together. Well, I mean, I watched it the other night with him, but like the new episode that came out. So last night we watched Miami, and then we watched Beverly Hills, and then we watched Miami. We watched a Watch What Happens Live, and I can't remember who was on it that we watched. Oh, no. Last night we watched the Salt Lake City reunion, and then we watched the Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, and that Joel guy that was in that movie Fire Island. I really like him. He's really funny. And then we watched Beverly Hills and Miami were on last night. We watched Beverly Hills. It's starting to finally get good. I think they're in Spain right now. And then we watched Miami. And Miami's been good this whole season. I think both of them are like nearing the end. I think Miami is like filming the reunion or something like that. I love Miami. I'm so glad that I decided to watch it. You know, I need to go back and I need to watch, I think is this season 5 or season 6? I can't remember. I need to watch the last season of it, because I have like that season and like 2 episodes or something like that to go back and watch. So yeah, but I love Miami. So we watched that last night, and then after one of them, I think it was, it doesn't matter, but anyway, I think it was the last one we watched. It would have been Miami. Captain Sandy and Toomey from Below Deck Mediterranean, which just had the finale this week. They were on Watch What Happens Live, so I watched it. Alex took Boo Radley out. He could less be bothered because he doesn't watch Below Deck anything. When we were in Miami, we like, a couple times ago, we like, it was raining one day, and we like binge watched Below Deck Mediterranean. That's really how I got kind of hooked on it. So yeah, so that was last night, and then I laid down and I took a nap and slept forever, slept really deep. And then I'm starting to feel like maybe one of the reasons why like I'm not sleeping great at night, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but is like we have this flannel sheets on our bed. And now that we've been opening these doors, like we opened the bathroom door and the closet door with the heating vents, because the heating is not great in our house. But now that we've been opening it, it's kind of like it's circulating, and the upstairs is like hot. Like one night we shut the doors and it was cold upstairs, and now it's like we opened them again and it's like it's hot upstairs. And like I lowered the heat last night like 2 degrees, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but like, you know, when you just like you lower it like a degree or 2 and then it's like changes everything. But it was a little bit cooler. But the flannel sheets, and then we have the big huge blue comforter that's kind of like a duvet but not really, and then on top of that we have that faux fur blanket. Well, Alex moves the blanket over, or the big comforter over, and bunches it up in the middle, and then he just uses the like faux fur blanket. But I'm using like everything, and I think like I just need like some white cotton sheets and, you know, like just crisp cotton sheets and whatever. I think I'm like burning up at night, even though I have the fan right on me, because I just found myself like, my mom used to call it the air conditioned leg, that you could like put one leg out from underneath the blanket. I'm just really hot at night when I go to sleep, and I don't really know what it's about. So yeah, it was cute last night when I came to bed. I went to bed late last night, but I didn't go to bed late. I didn't go to bed as late as I usually do. I went to bed at like 5 something. And I know for a lot of people, they're like, oh my God, that's so late. But for me, that's not really that late. I mean, sometimes I push it to 7 or 7:30 in all honesty. So probably part of the reason why. But I mean, I still didn't get like tons of sleep because I took my trazodone last night, and then like I looked at the clock. Alex got up. I kissed him goodbye for work. That was like 7:30, because he left a little bit later this morning, I think. I can't remember. But anyway, I remember looking at the clock and it was like 7:30 and I still wasn't asleep yet. So I laid there for like 2 hours. And the trazodone wasn't really working. And like when I fall asleep, I sleep deep on the trazodone, but it doesn't help me like really fall asleep. So, as much as it used to. Sometimes it does. Like if I don't take it for a couple days, then it does. But like if I take it consistently, it helps me like sleep deep when I sleep, but it doesn't really help me fall asleep anymore. It's one of the things I'm going to talk to my doctor about tomorrow and see if he has any recommendations. I mean, I don't really know what else to do, but I'm not struggling with sleep as much as I was months ago. I mean, I still sleep. It's taking me a long time to sleep, but it always has taken me a long time to fall asleep. But anyway, when I came to bed last night, Bradley wasn't in his little bed, the lavender bed that Lucy gave us, and he wasn't like, oh, the bird just came up here to go into the wreath and flew back. She or he came like, woo, and like flew back out like he did yesterday. Did the same thing yesterday when I was vlogging. That's so funny. So, it would be so much more convenient if he would just like stay in this thing over here, right? But like, no, it has to be the wreath behind my head that every time we open the door, he gets terrified and like flies out. So anyway, I guess I could move the wreath, right? Am I too worried about this kind of stuff? You know? But anyway, I know most people will be like, just throw the wreath away. The bird will find someplace else to sleep. It's probably my husband's sentiments, but I just can't. I don't know why. What was I saying? Oh, so I went to bed last night, and little Boo Radley, I was like, where is he at? Well, because of the color of his coat, he kind of blends in to the faux fur blanket, because it's kind of like, you know, like a creamy color. And so I like saw him, and like Alex was like turned to his side, facing his side of the bed, the left side of the bed. And Boo Radley was like, not just like up against him, but like up against him and the pillow. Like he was like in a little circle, like his back was up against Alex's back and Alex's pillow. He never sleeps there. It was the weirdest thing. So then I like, you know, got into bed, washed my face, brushed my teeth or mouthwash or whatever, and got into bed. And when I got into bed, I like pet Boo Radley, like pet him sometimes, you know. I mean, a lot of times he's my dog, but like when I'm like falling asleep at night, I just like pet him and, you know, talk to him, whatever. And I like reached for him and he was like turned sideways. It was you guys, it was the cutest thing. So Alex was turned on his side, facing his side of the bed, right? The left side of the bed, sleeping on his side. My nose was like itching. I trimmed my beard and shaved today, and it's like my nose is itching me. That hasn't happened in a while. But anyway, so Boo Radley was on his side, and he had moved. He was on his side, and he had his head, his little head, on the very edge of the pillow. So it was like both he and Alex were like facing one, like it was so cute. It was so cute. So anyway, yeah, it was very sweet. And little Boo Radley was so sweet this morning. It's just been a good day overall. It's been a good day. Tomorrow's going to be a good day. This weekend's going to be a good day. Or going to be a good weekend. And I'm trying to think of what I have over the next... we don't have any plans this weekend. He might. I don't know. I asked him the other day. I don't think he said he had anything. I can't really remember. Traders tonight. Vanderpump Rules. What else do I have tonight? It's Thursday. I keep on feeling like I'm a day ahead because Caroline, she messed up my week with Changing Cousin Fun Day. So, tomorrow's my doctor's appointment. Saturday and Sunday. Why do I feel like we have something on Sunday? Probably because last weekend was Sebastian's birthday party, so I keep on thinking that. But I don't think we have anything this weekend. Honestly, I don't even remember. I don't have anything this weekend. He might. Monday, we have couples counseling. Is that Monday? Is Monday the 29th? Yeah. Whatever Monday is, we have couples counseling. Yeah, so the next couple days will just be here, relaxing and things like that. I don't really know what I'm going to do as far as filming. Like, I may wake up tomorrow and be like with a doctor's appointment and everything else. If I wake up early, I might film a few videos. If I don't, if I get home and I feel like filming a vlog, I will. I'm just going to kind of play it day by day this next couple days. And my plan is to just kind of play January out, you know, and if I film a video, I film a video, and if I don't, I don't, you know. I just kind of play January out and then start February fresh. That's kind of my attitude right now, is where I'm at with it. And, yeah. I also, to keep up with my reading schedule, okay, of where I read 5 books the first week of January and nothing since. I mean, I've been reading, like, I haven't really been listening to my audiobook at all, but with my graphic novels, I've been reading like a page or two here, a page or two there, all this kind of stuff. Started another one. But to keep up with my schedule, okay, of trying to hit 100 books this year, I basically have to read between... because I'm at 5, I think maybe 6 books. I can't remember. I guess I could look at my Goodreads and see. I think I'm at 5 books. Who texted me? I'll read this in just a second. My Goodreads. Let's see where I'm at. Reading challenge. I'm at 5 books. I'm 1 book behind schedule, it says. My plan was to read 2 books a week. So by the end of this week, I should have 8 books done. So by Sunday, okay, by Sunday, I need to have Stalking Around the Christmas Tree, which I've been reading since 2 months before Christmas. It's my, like, only cozy Christmas mystery that I didn't even finish. And then, so I've got to finish that, which means if I do an hour a day for the next 3 days, I can finish that. I don't know how much time I have left on that. Let's look and see. We have like 2 or 3 hours. I have 2 hours and 44 minutes. So if I listen to 44 minutes today, and then an hour the next 2 days, which is easy to do, if I actually just commit to it and sit down and do it, then I can finish that book. That's 6 books. And then the 2 graphic novels, Fangirl, and what's the other one that I started that I'm, like, into? Oh, it was this book about this girl from Brooklyn that moves to Oregon. I'm not that far in that one, though. I don't know that I can finish that in the next couple days. That Heartstopper one, I literally finished it, like, in 2 settings or something like that. But some of these graphic novels are a little bit more involved. So we'll see. But that would be 7, 8 this week. And then next week, 9, 10. And I think what I'm going to do is listen to one of the Tani Kappas books, because I don't think I have the next one downloaded, but I haven't listened to it yet. And the Tanya Kappas. Let's see if I have any short books that I just bought. Why is it showing the Book of Cold Cases? That was like a long time ago. Okay, I just bought The Island by Adrian McKenty, who wrote The Chain, that I read a long time ago, and I loved it. The Housemaid. Has anybody read that book? It's like a series of books now. I bought that because I think it was on sale. Dead of Winter. The Body in the Back Garden was recommended to me. It's a cozy mystery. The Firm by John Grisham. So, okay, I read... This is like... I would have been like, oh God, I don't even know, 2 or 3, 4 years sober. And, I like dog sit for my dad. It had to have been longer than that, because I think it was, I don't remember when it was, but I dog sat for my dad and my stepmom when they went out of town. And I sat on the back patio, and I remember that, like, every night I would come home, and my dad's patio overlooks, like, the lake and stuff like that, and it was in the summer, and I remember every night I would, like, make tea. I was, like, real into tea that summer. I would, like, make tea, and I would sit on the back patio, and I would read. And I read, like, The Firm. I read The Street Lawyer, which was one of my favorite. I read all, like 3 John Grisham books in a row. Well, The Firm has a sequel that just came out, like, this year. And I do not remember the movie. I know that it had, what's-her-face in it that I love. I can't remember her name. I can't think of her name right now. That was in that movie, or that show where she had an angel, and she's been in a ton of movies. I love her so much. She was in Home for the Holidays. Holly Hunter. Holly Hunter is in it. And I think Tom Cruise, and who else? But anyway, The Firm, I remember reading the book and it was fantastic, and watching the movie and it was fantastic. What was the other one with the two kids in it and Susan Sarandon, The Client? I read that one too, and then I love that movie. That movie, The Client, is so good. So anyway, the camera stopped. I had no idea it was a 30-minute mark. I bought it because I want to read the sequel to The Firm, but I don't even really remember the first one. I kind of remember bits and pieces of it, but I don't really remember it that deeply. So I bought it. That's a long book for me, 17. I mean, I'll have to be ahead of the schedule on reading books for me to read The Firm. But I'm kind of excited to, like, listen to it again, you know? I can see myself, like, on this patio, my dad's patio, sitting out there reading the paperback. And it was, like, this big, that paperback. I can remember that. I used to read, like, all the, back in the day, like, the John Grisham, the David Baldacci books. Michael Crichton, I read when I was in treatment. I loved all of his books. And I read James Patterson. I read a lot of those books back in the day before they got kind of cheesy. Every once in a while, I think I want to go back and read another James Patterson book, and then I try to, and I get real disappointed. But his early books were fantastic. They were unbelievable, like nothing. Like Kiss the Girls, I think, was the first one that I ever read, and then I went back and read Along Came a Spider, which was like the first one in the series. And they were like nothing I had ever read before. So the other thing I need to start next week is watching the Oscar movies, because the Oscar nominations came out, and I made a list of the Oscar nominations. What do y'all think about Barbie getting completely snubbed at the Oscars? Did you guys hear about all this? Now, you know it was not my favorite movie, okay? But I understand the sentiment behind it and why it was so important to people. I think it is, you know, I think that some oppressed community always gets snubbed at the Oscars. I think it's really, I mean, it's interesting to me that the Margot Robbie that played Barbie didn't get nominated for Best Actress. What is it, Greta Gerwig that directed it didn't get nominated for Best Director, and you know, then Ryan Gosling gets nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I mean, it's like, I'm seeing all these articles that's like literally what's happening with the Oscars is the epitome of what the meaning was behind the movie Barbie, which is just so sad, really. Like, in reality, you know, I think it's so sad that it got snubbed. Like I said, I didn't like. I have so many friends of mine that just lived and died for that movie, and I know so many people out there did too. But I think part of it for me, and this is just my perspective of a film, okay? Because people are like, Peter, like, you didn't have the childhood growing up of, like, Barbies. I grew up with Barbies, okay? I mean, I could not wait to go over to my mom's friends' houses so I could play with their kids' Barbies. I had a few Barbies, but not many. And I was obsessed with Barbies when I grew up, okay? I had the ugly Barbie that you cut her hair and did markers to her face. I had all that. I got it, okay? I got all of it. Like, Barbies meant a lot to me. Obviously, I'm not a woman, and I do not understand what it feels like to be that. I feel grateful that I was raised and, you know, given a lot by the women around me. I feel like, I mean, all my friends are women, you know. I think that movie was so important for so many people. To be snubbed by Hollywood is just such a sad sentiment. I think for me, like, when I talked about it originally a couple months ago or whatever, I compared it to the movie that was nominated last year, called Women Talking. And it was about a Mennonite community in Bolivia. It was based on a true story that was also directed by a woman. And it was 10 women that sat in a bar, and they talked about women that were being harmed in the community, and they were being drugged and told that demons were doing these things to them when it was actually men in the community. It was based on a true story, and it was such a fantastic movie, and it was such an important movie. I think for me, I'm not somebody, there's a few comedies that I really love, but I'm not somebody that really relates to or learns from anything that has kind of a comedic, you know, part of it. I love dramas. Like, dramas are movies to me that mean a lot. And when I think about movies through the years that are really empowering to women that I love, and I think of like Thelma and Louise is like the first movie that comes to mind. It's one of my favorite movies of life, right? But for me, I mean, and not that there weren't comic moments to that movie, but you know, but I think it's incredibly sad that, and I think what's also interesting about it is when you think about it from this point of view, right, that it's the Academy. It's the people in the Academy that are voting for the movies that are up, and then they're not even voting for a female director in her own category. I mean, it's just very, very telling of, you know, the whole story of Hollywood when you think that things are changing and they're just not, you know? So it makes me sad. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Like, it'll be interesting to see if Ryan Gosling wins, like, what he says and his success. That was immediately what I thought when he was nominated. I was like, if Ryan Gosling wins, like, what, like, it'll be interesting to see what he says, like, if he's willing to accept it. If he does, and what does he say? You know, if he even shows up. It did get nominated for Best Picture. But it didn't get nominated for Best Director. I think Women Talking... Excuse me. Let me see what Women Talking nominations were. I mean, it was a completely different movie. It was like, you can't really compare it with apples to oranges. But as far as, like, movies that are about women's empowerment, Women Talking nominations. Let's see. I feel like she may have won Best Director, but no, it was, whatever it was up for, I don't think it won. But I think it did win, like, Best Adapted Screenplay or something. Women Talking, Oscar noms. Did Women Talking get any Oscar nominations? Last year, for example, Women Talking, Sarah Polley was who directed it, received a Best Picture nomination in history. Women Talking is based on a true story. Oh, I don't think Sarah Polley was nominated for it. That's interesting. So that's 2 years in a row. Did she get... I thought she did. Oh, she won the Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay. In her speech, she said, "I want to thank the Academy for not being mortally offended by the words women and talking being so close together like that," Polley said in her acceptance speech. Why do I... Women Talking Oscar nominations. They're comparing it to Barbie on here. But why did I feel like... I felt like she got nominated for Best Director last year. Okay. Academy Awards. Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Motion Picture of the Year. No, she was not nominated for Best Director. But like I said, it was a completely different movie, too. I don't know that you can compare them, you know, as far as directorial awards and things like that. But a lot of women get snubbed in Hollywood, obviously, you know. Sad. So the list of the Oscar nominations, I have all the movies. Maestro, I know nothing about most of these movies. Rustin, The Holdovers. I just put Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Supporting Actress, all those movies in the same list. So I'm just going to watch all of them. I actually don't have that as many this year as I did last year. Maestro, Rustin, The Holdovers, which I've already seen. Loved it. Oppenheimer, which I haven't seen. American Fiction, haven't seen. Killers of the Flower Moon, I haven't seen. And to be honest with you, we read the book in a true crime book club, and I think this was a shared sentiment by most people in the book club. Thought it was... So the reason that Mel and I picked the book, Killers of the Flower Moon was because it was really the beginning of the FBI as we know it today. And so we thought it was an important book to read. Plus, whenever you look up, like, best true crime novels, it's always one of the first ones that comes up. It was so boring. It was such a slow read. I think when I was done with it, like, you know, sometimes when you're reading a book or watching a movie, you're like, God, this is so bad. But then, like, when you're done with it, you're like, okay. Like, what was the movie that won all the awards last year at the Oscars? Well, I can't think of that movie. With Jamie Lee Curtis and... do you guys know what I'm talking about? Everything All at Once or whatever. Like, the movie was so weird, I almost stopped watching it like an hour in. But when I was done watching it, I was like, oh wow, that was like a beautiful movie, right? Sometimes you have to like finish something to like completely appreciate it. That's kind of how Killers of the Flower Moon was for me as a book. But I wasn't real excited to watch it as a movie because I was like, I didn't love the book, so I don't know that I'm going to want to watch the movie. Barbie, which I've already seen. Poor Things, I really want to see, with Emma Stone. Nyad. I don't know anything about most of these movies. Nyad, Anatomy of a Fall. I've heard a lot about that, actually. The Color Purple, which I already talked about the other day, I'm dying to see. Past Lives, Zone of Interest in May, December. So those are the movies that are nominated for those categories. I don't know if I'm going to watch all of them again this year, you know? Last year it was easier because most of them were streaming or you could rent them. I don't think that's the case this year. I think a lot of them you still have to go see in the movie theater. Because I think they're trying to get people to go back to the movie theaters, you know? I love the movie theater, but in all honesty, I'd rather stream a movie from home. And I can tell you, Alex isn't going to want to see most of those movies. So, Alex is all about like the Marvel movies and stuff like that. It's like starting to rain a little bit harder now. I don't know, it's sad about Barbie though, you know? I mean, you think about, you work on the movie, like it's literally the masterpiece of your entire life. Not to mention, so many people, so many women were profoundly, positively affected by that movie. And your own community, I mean, like I said, it got nominated for Best, you know, Picture, like Women Talking did last year, but the director doesn't get acknowledgement for that, you know, that's behind the whole thing. That is a woman. It's very sad, you know. I don't know, let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. You think it's interesting, like when I shared my opinion about what I thought of the movie as a movie, what I thought about it as a movie, right? Like a lot of people were really offended and said like I didn't get the movie. I just, to be honest with you, like it just didn't hit a lot of the marks for me. I feel like there were so many things they could have done that they didn't do in the movie. I still thought it was fantastic. I understood why people got so excited to go see it with their, you know, their daughters or their friends and dress in pink. I understood all that. Like, I got it, right? But, like, I think, you know, I was thinking about this when I saw that the movie was, the director was snubbed and Margot Robbie was snubbed. And I was like, it just made me sad, like, immediately, you know? And I didn't have necessarily the same response that everybody else had, but I think, like, film and TV shows and books are so personal. You know, I was thinking about this, like, talking to Caroline today. We were talking about TV shows, and we were talking about, like, music and stuff, and it's like, when I hear a song, the way that I respond to a song with my history and my life experience might be completely different than how you listen to a song. Like, you might listen to a song, it might mean nothing to you. I might listen to a song, it might mean everything to me, you know? And I think that's the same experience when we go and see a movie and things like that. And I also, you know, as having, you know, a minor in film history, I think, like, you know, for me, the way that I look at it is, I look at film sometimes from a film point of view, not just as an experience point of view, unless I am, like, deeply moved by the movie, you know, and then I'm just like, but I have to say, it has been, I don't keep a list of movies that I watch the way that I do books, but, like, or TV shows, but, like, even The Holdovers, like, I love The Holdovers, but I compare it a lot to Dead Poets Society. Like, Dead Poets Society, when I watch that movie, like, and, like, it reminds me a lot of, you know, probably because Robin Williams was in both of them, but it reminds me a lot of, wasn't Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society? Who was in the cast of Dead Poets Society? Why am I now second-guessing myself? Who played the teacher? Was it not Robin Williams? I don't think it was Robin Williams. Dead Poets Society cast. Who was? It was Robin Williams, so thank God. Okay. So, you know, Who was it in Good Will Hunting then? It wasn't good. It wasn't him in Good Will Hunting then, was it? Oh, Robin Williams. It makes me so sad. Good Will Hunting was another movie that just really hit me hard. Who played? It was Robin Williams in both of them. I got Minnie Driver. I forgot all about her. What happened to her? But like Dead Poets Society hit me so profoundly. And I think it was also like, I remember watching that movie, I think I was in my 20s when it came out or something like that. It's very much like when I read The Catcher in the Rye when I was younger. Like, I respond to that book and story now differently than I did when I was younger. And I can remember my mom saying that, you know, that certain books, certain music don't hit the same way when you're older as they do when you're younger. Or they hit, I can remember the first time that I read, you know, She's Come Undone by Wally Lamb, and then we read it a couple years ago for the book club before it was True Crime Book Club, and I just had a completely different response to it because it's a book about grieving. Well, I hadn't experienced that much grieving, you know, when I was younger, and so I saw it from a different point of view. My experience with it the first time I read it was completely different than my experience the second time that I read it. And I think that's a lot of things, you know. I mean, I could watch Barbie 5 years from now and just have a completely different experience than I had, you know, watching it this year. I don't know. Maybe where I was in my life at that point, you know, whatever. But it's like The Holdovers. I loved The Holdovers. I thought it was fantastic. I cannot remember that actress's name. She was in Only Murders in the Building. She plays a detective. She's fantastic. I think, I haven't seen the other movies, so I don't know, but she's very deserving of that. She was nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Paul Giamatti was nominated for Best Actor, I think, is how you pronounce his name. I'm surprised the guy that played the student wasn't nominated for anything. So that's my only thing. But I love that movie. Would I say I was affected by that movie? I think about that movie regularly. The soundtrack was fantastic. The soundtrack was not nominated. Was I the song or whatever? But there wasn't really like a main, it was like, you know, but the music was beautiful in the movie. And a lot of it was like Temptation, Silent Night, and stuff like that. Was I as affected today by The Holdovers as I was by Dead Poets Society when I first saw it? Or, what's the other movie that I just talked about? With Matt Damon and Ben Affleck? Anyway, I can't remember why. I can't think of that movie now. But anyway, I just literally just said it. But no, I wasn't. I wasn't as affected on any level today that I was by that. And they're similar stories, you know? Why can't I think of that movie? This is going to drive me crazy. The one where he slaps and he goes, "How about them apples?" That's like my favorite scene from that movie. Okay. Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting. Well, how could I forget that? That scene, when the last therapy scene when Robin Williams and Matt Damon are sitting there talking together, is such a powerful movie, you know? It's like, I was thinking about doing a video for my Peter Does Stuff channel. I actually just wrote it last night down because I was like, you know, put this note in my phone, and Alex is like, what are you writing a note about? And I said I came up with an idea for Peter Does Stuff. And the idea was that it started off from the line at the end of My Dog Skip forever changed how I look at relationships with people, not only dogs, once they're gone. You know, because the line at the end, I can't remember exactly how it is, but it says something like, he gets a call, he goes to Oxford, and he gets a call that Skip died. And he said that his mom wrapped him in his baseball jacket and buried him underneath the tree out back. And he said, but that's not entirely true, because he will forever be buried in my heart and in my soul. And like, I think about, like, when you think about grieving people, like, right, like, I mean, obviously that movie like affected me on such a deep level, right? And I think when I first saw it, my mom and I loved that movie so much, you know, together and stuff, and I read pieces of it, and because, you know, like, he's an only child in the story, and he says in the book, you know, like, I was an only child, he was an only dog. And I read parts of that in the eulogy that I did for my mom. I read parts of The Way We Were. And so it's kind of morphed into this idea that I wanted to talk about movies that had profoundly changed my life. But I think that's a really personal experience. You know, I think, like, if I said to you, like, Out of Africa was probably one of the movies that has forever changed me, you know? At the time that I watched it when it was so meaningful to me. And if somebody said to me, like, oh, well, I didn't like that movie, I didn't think it was that great of a movie, I mean, my response to them would be, well, okay, like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, like, I thought it was great. I think, like, we live in a time, it's like, if you say, like, I wasn't that taken with a movie, somebody's like, what do you mean you weren't taken with that movie? Like, you didn't get it, you know? It's like for 30, 40 years, I've been talking about movies that I love that people didn't relate to. Okay, it's personal, it's a personal experience, you know? And I think we have such personal experiences to pop culture and music and even fashion, you know, and books and TV shows and you know, I think especially music, you know, it's like what some songs do to some people that don't do to others, you know, it's like, I was listening to something the other day, and it was a country music song. Like, my husband cannot stand country music whatsoever, and I just was listening to a song, and it was like an old country music song, and I just started bawling. It was actually in the movie To Leslie, because there's a scene in there, it's a Willie Nelson song, and I can look it up and tell you what it is right now, because I have it, I downloaded it. But she's sitting in the bar, it's a song about friends, like, are they really your friends, kind of thing. And she's sitting in this bar, and she's listening to this, and you can tell as she's listening, it's a fantastic scene. And as she's listening to it, you can tell, like, she's thinking to herself, like, I have nobody in my life. Like, I have literally nobody. The song is called Are You Sure? And it's by Willie Nelson. And I so related to that scene. I loved that movie so much. But, like, even the impact that movie To Leslie had, which was about an alcoholic, I loved that movie. I thought it was fantastically done. I did not relate to that movie the way that I did when I watched, like, back in the day, like, Clean and Sober, you know, like, When a Man Loves a Woman, like, those movies, like, and that was because that was where I was at that time, you know, in my life. And I think we have such personal experiences with pop culture, with movies and stuff like that, you know? That doesn't take it away from somebody else if somebody else doesn't have that same experience, you know? It's personal, it's, you know? It's interesting because, like, I've also gotten a response about cartoons. Like, when, like, I'll say things like, I don't really love Disney movies. Like, you know, people are very offended by that. People are very offended when I'm like, I didn't grow up on Disney movies, you know? It wasn't something that, like, we watched a lot of other movies, but family movies, you know, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, you know, other movies, but, like, I didn't watch a lot of Disney movies when I was growing up. I just didn't, you know? And so I don't have that experience. My husband, he loves Disney movies because he grew up with them. I think everything is, you know, such a personal experience. And, but I don't know, maybe while I'm watching these Oscar movies again, I need to watch Barbie again and see if I respond to it in a different way, you know? I think maybe just sitting in my living room and watching it as a film, instead of at the time that we went and saw it, there was all the hype around it, you know, of, like, the Mattel boxes and the movie theaters and people getting their pictures taken and stuff like that. Sometimes for me, that's why I love, like, the smaller, quieter movies, because when a movie is so hyped up and then you go see it and you're, like, looking for this greatness, and for a lot of people they found it, you know, and I think that's fantastic, you know? I think maybe I need to watch it again. It's a lot of movies I probably need to watch again, you know? It's interesting because there's so many movies that I'll watch. Like, I watched Nomadland with Frances McDormand. I love her. McDormand. And I love her so much. She's one of probably my favorite actress of life right now. And, which is why I called her by the wrong last name when I said her name. Frances McDormand. Anyway, and I love Nomadland. Like, it forever changed a lot about how I looked at things, you know? It's about a woman that lives in a van. And I can remember saying that to Tanya, and Tanya was like, well, I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was that great. Caroline hated it. You know, like, a lot of people Alex wouldn't watch it. You know, he was like, this looks so boring. You know, I remember Alex, I watched Everything Back Again, or whatever that movie's called, that won all the awards last year. And I remember I was like, Alex watched like a half an hour of it, and I looked over on the couch and he was like asleep. And he was like, he's like, I can't do this movie. This movie's too weird. And so I was like, okay, I can remember looking at my phone and being like, I'm going to give it an hour. And if at an hour I can't, it was like at an hour and 10 minutes that I was like, I started getting into it a little bit. But you know, it's like, isn't it weird how like you can watch a movie or hear a song at a certain time and it means so much to you? Like there's so much music that back in the day, like there's a lot of the music that I listened to when I was younger that I still love, but there's a lot of music that like I listened to back in the day, and like it hits so hard when I would listen to it, but I listen to it today and it doesn't really do anything for me. Like it's so weird. But then songs that I never thought would ever have any kind of meaning to me have such a deep meaning to me, you know? Well, listen, it's 6:14, so I'm going to get off here. Yeah, but let me know what you think about all that in the comment section below. I think I'm going to watch it again. And see what I think. But I'm going to watch the rest of those movies too and see what I think about all of them. So I try to watch, the last couple of years, I've tried to watch all the Oscar movies every year, you know? So we'll see how far I get in that list. Once I start, you know, there's no stopping. I think last year I did it like, did I do it like 2 weeks before and I just was like every night like a movie? Yeah, well, I didn't have Vanderpump Rules last year or Real Housewives of New Jersey, but I got like a month because it's not till like March. I have on here when it's actually, I wrote it down because I knew I wouldn't want to look 9 million times. I'd be like, when is it again? When is it again? So I have it on here. When is it? Oscar movies, Sunday, March 10th, 2024. So I have more than a month. I have like 5 weeks to watch all the movies. Anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Thursday. Not sure if I'll vlog tomorrow or not. I'll probably say that for the next 3 days. If I don't, I'll put something out, let you guys know. Just depends on how my day goes. But I hope that you guys are having a fantastic, magically amazing Thursday. And tomorrow, I hope that you have a fantastic beginning to your weekend. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And I'm going to do a real quick outro. With that being said, love one another, be kind to one another, most importantly, be kinder, and love yourself more. And I love you, and I'll see you guys in my next vlog. Bye. I'll see you guys in my next vlog. Bye. Love ya!